And we're off. What's up, folks? Brian Edwards, Jay Greeson, Bets and Ball Games. We are presented by FanDuel here at Southeastern 16. Before we get started, let's tell you about our friends at Yearly Company, a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition and design for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from solid 14K gold and natural gemstones made to measure for a perfect fit and backed by a lifetime guarantee. Because every Yearly Company bangle is custom sized, knowing your size is the most important first step before ordering. That's where our sizing kit comes in. Code SE16KIT will take 100% off the sizing kit at checkout. All right, what's happening, Jay?
Not much. Just trying to stay warm here in balmy Chattanooga, Tennessee.
I hear you. It's been cold down here, too, until today. High of 65 and a low of 58. That's what Alexa told me this morning. All right. We have CFP.
Whoa.
Oh, wait, we got a good, bad, and ugly from Jay. My apologies. Yes, far away.
All right. And it's all in the same package. And it all resonates from the overarching theme of what has been football season here on Bets and Ball Games in 2025. The good, Diego Pavia with the highest Heisman finish in Vanderbilt school history. The bad, Diego Pavia acting the fool after not winning the Heisman and even putting F the voters and then shout out to the family on social media. And the ugly is yet to be seen, because if you're a guy like Diego Pavia, who on a good day is 5'10", you've got to check every other box to make an NFL GM fall in love with you if you want a shot in the NFL. F the voters is not checking any boxes, Diego. Any. I think there's a real chance he may have cost himself. Questions off the field caused Shedeur Sanders to fall from projected round 1 to round 5. And Diego's not going to run overly great at the Underwear Olympics. He's going to measure 5'9"-ish. And look, the good news is it only takes one GM to remember how many plays you made. But when you're giving them ammo, if you're loading the stick to swing at your pinata, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
I don't think it's that big a deal. I'm not trying to push back on what you're saying, because everybody's saying what you're saying. Maybe it's just my love for my guy Diego, because I just like making money on ball games. But perhaps that's it. I just really don't think it's that big a deal. But I mean, I'm in the minority, vast minority. I understand that. But I just think it's his competitiveness. He's like, y'all got it wrong. But
no, hey, if he had posted y'all got it wrong, okay.
That would have been fine. That would have been time.
Yes. But yeah. F the voters.
They are a bunch of dorks.
Well, I'll tell you one who's not a dork, who sounded off on him on ESPN.
Who?
That'd be 2010 Heisman winner and Heisman voter Cam Newton, who has known a little controversy.
Yeah, he's known a little controversy himself. Oh, well, I'm certainly not worried about what Cam said about it. What did he say about it? He just everybody else is saying.
Just
don't be an ass. Don't be an ass.
Well, not only don't be an ass, but he is behind the 8 ball physically.
This is true.
So you've got to give talent evaluators every other reason to love you. Don't add extra bullets to the clip.
I hear you. All right. I don't have a good, bad, and ugly, but I will just say, just in case in the course of this show I don't get it out, FSU should be at the top of everyone's fade list in college basketball. For those that follow me on Twitter, I hope you saw my tweets yesterday. I wrote a story on Major Wager to take Dayton for the game for 2.5 units, to Dayton in the first half for 1 unit, to take their team total in the first half over for a half unit, and their team total for the game for a half unit. And they were all winners, 4-0, 4.5 units. And FSU's lost 5 in a row, both straight up and against the spread. So fade FSU in college basketball. And as I was saying that, let's see when they are back on the schedule. Actually, let's just un momento here because I meant to look this up earlier. Oh, I clicked the wrong team. Sorry. Un momento. Here we go. FSU, they play again on Friday, but it's against, well, yeah, they'll probably be favored by 30 against Mississippi Valley State. I don't know anything about Mississippi Valley State. Starting with the ACC on December 30th at UNC, FSU on your fade list. All right. We have CFP games to talk about. Here are the lines for Friday night in Norman, Oklahoma. FanDuel has Alabama -1.5 at a -105 price, or -116 on the money line. 40.5 is your total. They had 44 combined in the first meeting, 23-21, but there was an 80-ish yard pick six in that game. So just for the total, just telling you, it was 44 last time, but probably should have been 37. A&M is -3.5 at a -105 price at home to Miami on Saturday at noon Eastern, -158 on the money line, +134 on the comeback for the Canes. 48.5 is the total. So let's start with those two, and then we'll go to the other two. So Alabama, Oklahoma, have you made up your mind on this one? I will say, Jay, that I saw footage on Twitter of Jam Miller looking pretty good, and I saw R. Mason Thomas looking pretty good. So I think they're both good to go.
I do too. And both of those guys at 80% are better than, certainly for Jam Miller, 80% of Jam is better than all the other jelly in the Alabama running back kitchen. So I expect Jam to play. I expect R. Mason Thomas to play. And he's just simply a game wrecker. I have made up my mind on this one, Brian. I think the home field is being undervalued here. I think speaking of health, having watched Ty Simpson the last 3 meaningful games, he does not look like the same cat who was shooting up Heisman boards and up draft evaluators charts through the first 8-9 weeks of the season. I mean, and he's been beat on in the month of November. Alabama beat on him. Georgia beat on him in the SEC championship game. Oklahoma, in their first meeting between these teams, beat on him.
Bad.
I am the only way, and I don't know how you feel about incorporating props, the leverage I would have, the only way Alabama prevails, never mind covers, but wins, I'm on Oklahoma on the money line, just to get a little bit better odds. They've got the better kicker. They've got the single best unit on the field in that defensive front. As long as John Mateer doesn't throw it to the other team twice, and that's a big if. That's a big if this year. As long as he doesn't throw it away, throw it to Alabama twice, I see Oklahoma advancing.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I liked Alabama in the regular season game was I thought Mateer would make mistakes, but it was Simpson that actually threw the 87-yard pick six. Now, Alabama did dominate the stats for the most part. They had a 23-12 advantage in first downs, but they only ran it for 80 yards on 33 attempts. Now, Oklahoma didn't run it very well either, 74 yards on 28 attempts. Bama had 326 passing yards. Does this have sacks? Yes. But Simpson was sacked 4 times, which lends credence to you talking about how he got beat upon. And yeah, he's gotten beaten up pretty bad here. Oh, and there's 2 fumbles. We're both up. Remember, I was at the Grove. Were both fumbles by Simpson? One of them definitely was, wasn't it? Or no?
One was he had a pick and a fumble.
Gotcha. And Jam Miller only had 27 rushing yards on 9 carries, but Oklahoma's defense carried the day. All right. I also like Oklahoma for all the reasons you mentioned. You talked about how the offensive line of Alabama, being one of the most disappointing position groups in the country last year. And when you're struggling like they are, going against Oklahoma is not good news. I agree with home field advantage. Hey, we're catching a point. Yeah, I like Oklahoma as well. So we're both on the Sooners. No opinion for me on the total. You?
It feels like they're begging you to take the over, which through our experience means if you really feel the need to play it, I would probably lean under, because when Vegas sets a line, it's like chicken liver to a catfish, man. They're begging you to bet the over at 40.5.
Yeah. I just don't like betting the over on totals that are this low in college, especially because you have multiple overtimes and all that jazz. But and special teams play an 87-yard pick six like we had in the last game, which I guess eventually was why that game. Or wait, I don't know that game went over. That's right, it was 46.5 last time, so a 6.5 point adjustment. So it did not go over the 46.5 that day in Tuscaloosa, but I want nothing to do with the total. All right, we move on. Noon Eastern, A&M, like I mentioned earlier, 3.5 at half juice to Miami. And I don't like this game. I like a prop, though, but I'll let you comment on this game before I share the prop that I'm bullish on.
My side would be the home team in A&M. The cheapest ticket I saw was like $360 on StubHub.
It's gonna be rocking and rolling.
That play. Why is this not the night game?
Yeah, I agree. I thought the exact same thing.
Put Ole Miss, Tulane in the nooner. You still get Oregon out west in that 3:30, 4 o'clock window, and then you get this game at night. And I mean, maybe I think the NFL starts its Saturday slates.
Oh, that's probably what it is, because there are 2 Saturday games in the NFL. That's exactly what it is.
So, but I just think A&M's completeness is really what pushes me to the Aggies. They can win a 1-score game in the teens, and they can win a shootout in South Bend. And I
got another factor that I'm sorry to cut you off because you might be going right there, but head coaching advantage, major advantage for the Aggies.
Without question. And I think especially a guy with that much defensive prowess, Carson Beck can get sloppy with a football. And as long as A&M doesn't let Malachi Toney beat them, I see this being uphill for Miami, because I don't know, other than Toney, where do you get points?
Man, I'm so annoyed because I was looking at the props on FanDuel yesterday, and Marcel Reed's rushing yards prop was 28.5, and I was salivating at that to take the over. And here we are 24 hours later, and I look, and it's already 33.5. And none of my accounts put up player props in college until the day of the game. So that's disappointing. So I think I've told this story before. I was looking for Dallas Wilson props just minutes before the Florida A&M kick, and I saw Marcel Reed it was either 28.5 or 29.5. I took it. He only had 37, but I feel like he had it pretty early. And so that went over in the Florida game. I took it the next week. It was in the low 30s. He got 55. I took it the next week. It was like in the mid 30s. He got 108. Then I took it the next week. It was like upper 30s, and he only got 29. So I didn't mess with it against South Carolina or Samford. I went back to it against Texas, and he had 71. So I still like it at 33.5. I would probably like it all the way up to the high 30s, but hopefully it won't go up any higher. That's the only play I have there. I think Jay makes a pretty good case, though, for A&M and the head coaching advantage is pretty significant. Marcel Reed is also anytime touchdown plus 195. He has not scored a touchdown in 4 games in a row, but prior to that, he had scored 5 touchdowns in a 4-game stretch. Also had a touchdown in week 2 at plus 195. I'm okay for a small play there. And I wanted to look at the Malachi Toney. He's minus 125 to score a touchdown. His receiving props 79.5. Bear with me 1 second. I kind of want to look that up to see how many times he's gone over that. All right, here he is. Game log. All right, 79.5. All right, last two games, 126 and 146. Game before that, 41-7 to NC State. So he might have been out a little early. He did have 2 tutties that game, but only 54 yards. Game before that, Syracuse, another blowout, only 12 yards. But he had 135 to Louisville, 107 to FSU. Those games were close games. He had 82 against Notre Dame, another close game. So, I don't love it, but I'm not against it. All right, let's go to Ole Miss and Tulane. And come on, baby. Here we go. Ole Miss, 17.5, minus 104 price on the Rebels. Plus 580 money line for Tulane. The total is 56.5. Ole Miss in the first quarter minus 4.5 at even money. In the first half, 9.5 at minus 120 juice. Let me take you back to week 4 in Oxford. And Ole Miss was favored by 11.5, a total of 61. They won 45-10. It was 23-3 at halftime. There was a scoreless third quarter. First play of the fourth, they got to 31-3, 38-3, 11:45 left. Obviously, it was over from there. Tulane got a tutty with 3:42 left. Ole Miss had 548 yards of offense. They got to 45 with 8:17 left. All right, I have a play. What are you liking on this one?
I'm on Ole Miss in just about every fashion.
Okay.
I think the one thing you brought up, the history, and it screams mismatch, because if remembering that game, Ole Miss got to 45, but really could have very easily had another touchdown or two. They could have been well into the 50s, because it feels like some missed kicks, a couple of missed fourth down opportunities in plus territory. And I think the overarching theme here is going to be the love from the fans and the motivation from the guys post Kiffin to show everybody that yes, Kiffin built this, but we can do this without him.
Yeah. Okay. I have several plays. I'm not wanting to lay the 17.5, but I'll go team total over. Okay, it was 36.5 yesterday. Let's see what I got now. Scoring. Oh no, that's not it. Popular. Where is team? Where's the team? Okay, here we go. Ole Miss points, 37.5, minus 108 price on the over. So that's what I like there. I also am dipping into the prop market with Tulane's quarterback Jake Retzlaff over 31.5 rushing yards. I just took a similar bet with him against North Texas. He had 49 yards, and in 8 of the 13 games this year, he's had at least 43 rushing yards, and he's had a touchdown rushing in 7 games in a row. Wow. All right, so let's see his touchdown scorer props. Oh my gosh, he's even money. So I like, yeah, I do like that.
Brian, are you speaking of future Florida Gator quarterback Jake Retzlaff?
Is that who we're going to bring in to compete with Philo? We're going to get to the portal in a minute.
Okay.
But perhaps. I don't know. I think I want somebody better, but more. I don't know. I guess Philo and Retzlaff wouldn't be terrible, and Tramel Jones. So Lacey's rushing yards prop is 126.5. That seems a touch rich for me. He had 68 rushing yards on 18 attempts in the first game, although he did have 2 touchdowns. He's minus 550 for anytime touchdown. Let's see. Oh, scored 2+ touchdowns. All right. Sorry. Here we go. 2+ touchdowns. He's minus 110. Did he have a receiving touchdown in that game? No. So let's see, about 3 touchdowns, plus 330 with Kewan Lacey. I'll also mention Chambliss had 112 rushing yards in the first game, and his rushing prop is 36.5. Wow. Huh. That's interesting. I think I like that as well. So I'm over 36.5 Chambliss rushing yards. I'm over 31.5 Retzlaff rushing yards, and I'm Ole Miss over 37.5. And you're Ole Miss everything? Game, first half, first quarter?
First half, yes. Game, yes. And you've talked me into, as long as it's under 38, Ole Miss team total.
All right, there we go. All right, now we move on to Ole Miss and I'm sorry. Thank you. We move on to James Madison at Oregon, and we've got 21.5. Oregon is at minus 102 price. James Madison plus 1160 on the money line, a 47.5 point total. We have Oregon's team total at, where are we here? Come on. All right, I'm not. All right, we got to move forward here. I'm not doing a very good job here. All right, first quarter, Oregon minus 6.5, minus 124 price. First half, Oregon minus 11.5. I don't like this game, man. What do you think?
I really don't either. I could be convinced to lay some of that lumber early with Oregon, but doesn't this really have a feel like the second half could play out exactly like Georgia demolishing Alabama in the SEC championship game?
Sure.
You get up multiple scores. You just take the air out of the ball because you don't want people to get hurt. It's just win in advance. So 31-14 is, you don't need the beauty pageant points that you might covet
season
if this game was in late September instead of early December.
Right. Yeah, I concur. I got nothing in this game. I mean, like you just said, I might could put minus 6.5 in the first quarter on Oregon at the last minute, but James Madison could get a good scripted drive to start and get a field goal or something. That could mess that up. I'm not high on anything. I think I mentioned the CFP quarterfinal lines last week, but we'll go through them real quick again because they're from our friends at FanDuel. We've got Ohio State minus 9.5 to Miami, Ohio State 8.5 to A&M. We've got Texas Tech minus 1.5 to Oregon. We've got Indiana minus 9.5 to Oklahoma. I want to say that was 8.5 last week. And then Indiana minus 6.5 to Bama. Georgia minus 5.5 to Ole Miss. And that would be the one I like. Georgia minus 5.5 to Ole Miss.
I agree with that. And I think you could talk me into either whoever comes out of Norman, if you get them both going to Bloomington, catching 7 or more, you could probably talk me into liking that too. Because look, the kids in the SEC are not going to be wide-eyed and gun shy about going to play in Bloomington, Indiana.
Right. Yeah. I concur. As for the futures board, Ohio State plus 195, Indiana plus 310, Georgia 6-1, Texas Tech plus 850, along with Oregon 850, A&M 19-1, Bama 22-1, along with Ole Miss 22-1, Miami 25-1, Oklahoma 45, and Tulane and JMU 750 each. I think I said last week Texas Tech would be who I would play. I'm not against Georgia. Jay's sitting on a much bigger Georgia ticket that I'm sure you're quite happy with.
I am quite happy with it. I tell you what's puzzling though, and it speaks to the power of the brand of Alabama football, because we know the line is Alabama minus 1.5 in Norman, but look at the staggering differences. That's a coin flip game. And then look at the differences in the future odds.
Yep. Is that a thinking that they like Ty Simpson more than Mateer. I don't really understand it. Well, I mean, they are saying, I guess they're saying Alabama would be 4 or so in Tuscaloosa. So maybe, I don't know.
But
it's significant though. It's double. It's more than double.
And Alabama is 6.5 going to Bloomington, and Oklahoma, did you say 9? 9.5?
9.5 now. It was 8.5 last week, if memory serves. Okay, let's talk about the portal. It opens January 2nd, but we got dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of people announcing, including Aaron Philo, Haynes King's backup, who appears destined for Florida. Surely they're going to add another guy like he but I mean, you can't really pay millions to 2 different guys. I read where Philo got paid $1 million by Georgia Tech last year, and he barely played.
Yep.
Which is wild. Go ahead.
Jackson Arnold got close to 3, and he shouldn't have played.
He got close to 3? Woo, Hugh Freeze. Oh, you were this close, bud. You should be. They should have kept you around. Oh, we didn't talk about this one, Ole Miss. I don't really like Chambliss going there on the comments at the presser the other day. Why does he even go there? Even if he got asked that specifically, I just don't know why he's talking about that.
About what?
How he may go to the portal. Don't say that 3 days before the first playoff game. These fans are awfully, understandably, a little on edge right now.
A lot on edge.
A lot on edge, and understandably so.
Absolutely. And look, man, I wrote a column earlier this week about how Ole Miss, if your team's in the playoff, root for your team. Go, God bless you. But Ole Miss should be America's favorite because watching Lane Kiffin squirm and LSU have to pay the bonuses that he would have accumulated for each Ole Miss playoff win, and then just the drama of let Ole Miss win this, and Keith Carter say double middle fingers, no ring for Lane Kiffin. I'm here for all that smoke.
Absolutely. Did you see his lame ass tweet yesterday? Oh, so bad. So bad. You ready for it? If you didn't see it. Okay, he's probably dog.
Was it Juice?
No, nothing about you. He left Juice behind in Oxford. What's up with that? I mean, come on, dude. You can't act like that's your dog and leave it behind.
There are reports that it's not even his dog.
I know. I saw that too. Okay, I'm looking for this tweet. He tweets so damn much, I'm not having a hard time finding it. Okay, hold on. It was, where is it? Oh, man. It was something like you got to let go of the people that have already is this it? No, that was this morning. There's something about you have to let go of people who've already let you go or something. I was like, dude.
All right. My number one example on this is I think we as sports fans were robbed of what Michael Vick really could have been in the modern era of dynamic and duality quarterback play. But the more I think about it, we were so robbed of just pure entertainment value that Steve Spurrier happened before Twitter.
I know.
I know. That would have been gold.
You think you would have been all up on the Twitter?
He'd been a first ballot Twitter
Hall of Fame tweeter.
Yes.
He probably would have been. Yes, I concur with that statement. Very much so. Okay, we got Minchie from Notre Dame in the portal. We got Arch staying. Lenoris staying. I mean, when they say the word loyalty in the Palmetto State, I mean, it should be just a picture of Lenoris Sellers. He got beat up on and ran for his life all year, and he's trusting Shane Beamer. Now, I do like Kendall Briles, the hiring of the OC, but I'm surprised that Sellers came back.
I think the way we phrased it in the green room is I'm not surprised he's coming back to college. I am surprised he's coming back to Columbia.
Right. Yes.
But it is a wonderful sales pitch to say, look, Lenoris, you are beloved here. And more importantly, Mike Shula will not be involved.
Yes. most importantly. I doubt he gets another OC job at the collegiate level unless it's G5. Yeah. All right. Maeva also stayed at USC. The schools that I think it was Nakos at On3, the younger guy who's really on top of it. He mentioned Baylor, LSU, Miami. I feel like it was another team for Lagway, but I'm blanking on who that would have been. Gosh, wait, I'm thinking it's ACC. Anyway.
I tell you who it will be fun to watch in the portal is what does Clemson do?
Ooh. Klubnik's definitely gone, right? Has he been there 4 years or 3?
I think he's been there at least 4.
Yeah, he was backup on the start as a freshman. And he started for 3 years, right? I'm pretty sure. Okay. All right. Is that it before we just turn the page to some college hoops we've got for Saturday?
Did you mention Sorsby from Cincinnati? And
no. And it's probably going to be Texas Tech. And who's the other potential suitor for him?
For Sorsby?
Yeah, I'm blanking. I read it last night, though. It was
Sam Levitt is portaling from Arizona State.
Yeah, and is that going to be LSU or Miami maybe? I feel like I read.
Well, and I'll tell you who is one of the finalists for Michigan is Kenny Dillingham. And if that plays out, what becomes of Bryce Underwood?
Right. That's a good one.
Man, hey, I don't want to derail your train of thought here. I think all these kids they owe it to themselves. They've already ticked off whatever fan bases. Lane Kiffin's got to be on one of your calls because he's good at developing quarterbacks. Josh Heupel needs to be on one of your calls. And looking at what's in front of us, how do you not dial up whatever the area code is in Bloomington, Indiana, and see what Kurt Signetti wants?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we still got a ton of quarterbacks that are, haven't announced yet as well. I think I saw a tweet, somebody retweeted when Mendoza announced he was going to Indiana, and I think it was Christmas Eve. So that's only 7 days away. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Christmas Eve. But anywho, now if Michigan, I guess they're not in a hurry because there aren't any other open jobs. But if Michigan doesn't hire a coach in the next 48 hours, are they waiting to see what the result is Friday night in Norman and DeBoer to be a factor? Or, I mean, I know DeBoer came out with a statement early this week. What the hell else is he going to say on the Monday before a playoff game?
But the semantics of that statement are important, Brian. He was asked point blank, are you going to be Alabama's coach next year? And he then went into talking about how much they love getting acclimated, how much they love living there, all the other periphery stuff. He didn't do the Brent Key and said, cut me and see what color my blood is. This is where I'm going to coach.
Huh. Interesting. So is DeBoer the number one choice for Michigan? I mean, he must be if they haven't. I mean, they could have closed a deal on somebody in the next 24 hours or.
Well, Washington's already done. And a lot of people have Jed Fish among the top 3 names in that job.
Well, he's definitely not in the top 2, or else he would have been signed, sealed, and delivered already, I would think. So, anywho, all right, let's go hoops. I will say one thing. I don't want them to get down to choice 4 or 5 and for Clark Lee to be a candidate and to anything disturb our Vanderbilt bets one last time with Diego on New Year's Eve. I don't want any. I want Eli Stowers in for that game, and I want everybody in, and that to just be easy one last day of nice big-time winners on Diego and company. All right, we got 4 SEC games on Saturday. St. John's and Kentucky in Atlanta at 12:30 on CBS. And let me get you the KenPom line here. And we have St. John's -1. And I do not think I would like that game because I think that is a toss-up game.
I do too. And I think Kentucky is going to be much better mid to late January and into February when they get the full complement of that $22 million roster in uniform. But right now, they are schizophrenic.
Are you thinking the ASU, the big kid, what's his name, Jaden Quaintance? Are you think he's going to be? I don't have any confidence he's ever going to be ready. To be honest,
he may not.
He may not. We'll see. Okay, we have, and by the way, our boy Josh Hubbard, who sprained his ankle 2 Saturdays ago, but played in a win at Utah Saturday night. Last night they had a cupcake foe, and all he did was drop 34 points. 4 assists, no turnovers, 6 of 13 from downtown. They host Memphis on Saturday, and Memphis is actually in action tonight at home to Vandy as we're recording on Wednesday. But I thought Mississippi State would be a 7-point home favorite to Memphis, and they're only via KenPom a 2-point favorite. If Mississippi State is 3 or fewer at home to Memphis, assuming like Memphis doesn't like win and blow Vandy out tonight, I would like Mississippi State at 3 or fewer at home to Memphis on Saturday.
I concur with that.
Okay, and then we've got Arkansas and Houston in Newark, New Jersey, and I wrote down Pick'em, and KenPom has Houston -5. I would really like Arkansas +5 a good bit. Very impressed with their performance over Texas Tech in a – well, actually, it sounded like Arkansas had as many fans as Texas Tech. I don't know if you got to watch that early Saturday afternoon, but I would like Arkansas +5.
I also concur with that.
All right, and the last one, Auburn in Indianapolis against Purdue. So basically a true road game. I wrote down -8. KenPom, -8. I think it's a bad matchup for Auburn with Purdue's size and the big guy with the hyphenated last name, Trey Kaufman, something or another. He's really good, and I think Auburn's going to have problems.
I'm agreeing you with that too. And Brian, hey, peace out on your NFL picks. I've got to roll. I've got to head on out here.
My man.
All right.
We'll see you. Okay, so again, let me mention fade list, FSU. You want them on top in hoops. As for my NFL, we like Detroit -7 to Pittsburgh. Detroit has won 15 games in a row when they are in bounce-back mode, off a loss in the regular season, going back to early November of 2023. So 15-0 straight up, 14-1 against the spread, 10 wins by double-digit margins. The only non-cover being against the Giants at home when Jabu was playing about a month ago. But they're in bounce-back mode. They played great offensively last week, but they just couldn't stop the Rams because their secondary is banged up, and Stafford is balling. We don't know about T.J. Watt. Pittsburgh's on a short week off of Monday Night Football. Always a red flag, especially going on the road. So I like Detroit -7 to Pittsburgh. And I know the Jags are playing really well, but guess what? So are the Broncos. Broncos -3 at home to the Jags. And I wonder what Kyle Pitts' receiving yards prop is going to be. So I will go to FanDuel and check that out right now. They don't have the player props up yet. My goodness, that stinks. All right. So it is Detroit and the Broncos. It's home favorites for me. Oh, wait, I like the Bears a little bit as well. I'm never against Jackson Dart's rushing yards prop. He had another good game rushing, although I think I said last week I was kind of on hold with that because he didn't run it much against the Patriots because they've been emphasizing to him, look, playing out the string here. We don't want any more concussions. But yet he had, I think he had 50 or 60 rushing yards the other day. So maybe I'm back on that train. All right. There we go. Let's tell you about our friends at ROKFORM, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock, secure mounting, SEC 2.5 for 25% off. All right, we are presented to you by FanDuel. We are Bets and Ball Games. Brian Edwards, Jay Greeson, Southeastern 16. Thank you for joining us. Good luck with your bets, and over and out.